What is up, JL Life? Modell here. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at Boslla Bulbs for the Jeep JL. Stay tuned. If you guys have been following the channel, you know I'm not happy with my headlights that are in there. Though I like the standard light pattern of the bulbs that I have in my Jeep right now. The high beams are absolutely worthless. Seriously, it only gives me about another foot of illumination when I'm in the Jeep, and it's really frustrating when I'm out night wheeling and I don't have enough light to, I'm basically out driving my headlights in certain parts of when I'm out. Boslla reached out to me, told me they would like to send me some of these unique headlights that they designed and if I would be willing to do a video. Yes, I got these free of charge, but that is not going to affect my honesty in the review of these bulbs. But these are unique, and let me show you why. These light bulbs actually have 4 different functions to them. They have your normal driving conditions, 6500K brightness. There is a snow brightness of 4300, a warm yellow light. There is just a yellow light, kind of like a fog light, at 3000K. This is more suitable for heavy rain and fog. And there is actually an SOS flashing headlight function at 3000K. Now that itself is definitely different. I will show you how to operate these once we get them in the Jeep. And of course, I'll show you guys the light pattern. Now inside the box, we have our owner's manual, Are You Happy card, and the bulbs themselves. Again, these are H13. Looks more so, the bulbs are all the same, and the adapters are what's going to be different, because it comes with an anti-flicker. So you can see it only plugs in one way. Squeeze that in. The retaining nut. Squeeze that on. And this will plug in line with the bulbs. I know I already did a video on how to install LED bulbs into your Jeep. I'm going to make sure I install this one different because, of course, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to install LED bulbs. But so after I did that video, I just could not understand why Misty's headlight pattern was so horrible and my headlight pattern was so clean. Both were advertised as LED conversions from halogen kits, but that's not the case. I did my research and I found out why it did not look how it's supposed to. All right, so let me explain why my previous Misty's bulbs didn't work as well as my bulbs. So I'm going to draw a diagram of your standard Jeep headlight. So with a halogen, of course, when you have your regular halogen bulb, it uses filament, and the light is produced from a single spot inside of the cone. Once the filament lights up, it reflects off of the specifically placed reflectors inside of the reflector housing and produces the clean line. However, the halogen bulb is ineffective. It's not very bright. Now, when I upgraded Misty's, kind of just give an example, here is an LED bulb, 3D. I could have taught art, but anyways, you have your LEDs, and not all LED bulbs are designed the same. This is just kind of an exaggerated example. So when you're going from a filament bulb, which produces the light only from the filament, which is just thin line of light producing glow, going to something thicker, well, instead of producing light from this one individual spot, well, you're starting to produce light from outside of that spot. Well, that is enough for the light not to hit the reflectors quite right, which, of course, as it comes out of the headlight, it makes the messy pattern which you saw in Misty's original LEDs. What you need to be looking for are LEDs that are thin. Now, this is basically the diagram of the Boslla. It's paper thin. Having all of this in mind, this is another reason I was actually really intrigued to try these lights. So this does come off. Look how thin the light diode is. So in theory, it's going to be able to mimic the filament. In theory, we'll find out that it will mimic the filament, be able to produce a very clean pattern. They also are supposed to have a high beam pattern, so we will find out. But of course, it does come with built-in fans. They're not supposed to interfere with the electronics. We're going to put these in the Jeep a different way than what I first did. The first video, we actually took out the headlights to get the bulbs in. This one, we're going to put the bulbs in when the headlights are still in the Jeep. And also to talk a little bit about these bulbs, this company is actually a Kickstarter brand. And if you guys are familiar with Kickstarter, they put their idea up on the internet on Kickstarter. If enough people like it, they donate money. Once they reach a certain level of financial goals, they producing what they are advertising. And in this case, the bulbs. They come with a 1-year warranty. They have a 50,000 hour lifespan. They are the IP67. They make bulbs for a bunch of different type of cars. It's not just for the Jeep. So if you are, just head over to their website and find the bulb that you need. And they're made with aircraft aluminum. It's supposed to help with heat dissipation. Install should only take 10 to 20 minutes to do. Won't be hard to get to it. The hardest part of this install is just removing your air filter out of the way. Stay tuned and wait to the end to see how the patterns are. Well, first things first, let's open up the hood. I apologize for the wind. It's really windy, which is why I'm trying to nose in. Otherwise, I'd be doing this in the driveway. But if we come up here, headlight is right here. Back here. All right, so again, we got the grill. Right behind it is obviously the headlight. Now, if you see this little bunch of wires in the way, it's kind of tight. It's going to be really hard to show, but you're just going to grab this piece, turn it counterclockwise, which comes out really easy. Slide it out. Pop that out. Set that aside. So behind that cap, you can see the current bulb I have in there. We should be able to turn that counterclockwise and pull it out. And I do already have aftermarket bulbs, so that's why I have this anti-flicker harness in there. But I'm going to unplug it from here. That was not supposed to break like that. That was awesome. Well, just pop it out, I suppose. Reach in there and twist the bulb out. So here's that clip. Just get a small screwdriver, wedge it in the top, and pry up. You'll hear it snap. Once you have pulled out the retainer clip, I found the easiest way to ever undo these is make sure you're always pushing it together before you compress. But to compress, it's just right here, right in between the two yellow gray tabs towards the bottom. Compress and pull. Having a real damn time fitting my big old mitts down there. So the easiest way of doing this is, of course, by removing the grill. It's easier that way. But because I have a winch in the way, it's kind of difficult. But we're going to figure this out together. Right now, what I'm going to do is pop out all these little retaining clips. You just pull out the center. And then this will get yourself a trim removal tool, put it underneath, and just pop it out willy-nilly. But so you got 6 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm gonna pop those out real quick. Guys, I'm trying really hard to do this for you guys a different way. I'm trying. But so anyways, all those clips have been removed. Rip it and grip it should pop out. Just grab it, pull back. So I'm hoping from this position I'll be able to access the bolts without having to take the winch out, because that's just a pain in the butt. So guys, I want to apologize. I had to stop in the middle of the install yesterday because it was getting so darn windy and it's making it really difficult. So let's get back to where we left off. And I apologize, I'm not going to be able to show you guys the way I wanted to do this. My hands are just too damn big. I got to take out the headlights. So as where we left off, all the pins were out of the grill. You can just pull the grill back. We are going to do this slightly different, keeping the winch on while I do this. It's doable. There are 3 bolts, three bolts on each side in order to take out the headlight. This feud here. Got one here, here, and then down in there. We're going to remove those 3 bolts. The headlight's going to pop out, and we'll remove the old bulb, put in the new bulb, and we'll be done. After all 3 bolts are removed, headlight should pop right out. You can snake it out. Scoot this back a little. So you're able to snake out the headlight. You can actually even leave it plugged in. I'm going to go grab the other bulb real quick. So here it is. Just make sure when you do install the bulb, you remove this clear glass protective layer. And make sure when you're taking out the other bulb, you remove the red rubber washer. And of course the bulb plugs in. Plugs in, you put the retainer nut around it. Alright, ready to install. Set it somewhere you're not going to accidentally drop it. Counterclockwise on this protective housing, you can see the bulb right here. Push in and turn clockwise. The bulb pops right out. Like I said, I have LEDs already in here from a previous install. Just yours will not have anti-flicker harness. To open this, is pull this tab out. Push right there in the middle. Always push together before you pull out. Makes it a lot easier. There's that rubber bushing I was telling you about, or the rubber washer. There's a rubber washer I was telling you about. Make sure you take that out. Take off your glass bulb protector. And you got 3 little tabs, and just slightly rotate it so you can see. Those will fit within tabs inside of here. As you can see, there's tabs going around here. You're going to push it in and turn it. Push to the right. I'm going to plug in a light first. Yeah, that's much better. Now, it can be a little difficult to maneuver. Just work at it. It'll slip right in. Don't need to be cramming nothing in here. So there we go. Our light bulb's installed. Put on your back cap. After we got our bulb in, we can just slide this back inside. So after getting those bolts in, both sides done, you can just push the grill back in. Make sure it's pushed in, top, bottom, sides, middle, all that stuff. And keep in mind, the more often you do this and you're taking out those cheap plastic plugs by Jeep, and of course any of the plastic retainer clips, the more often you do it, the more likely you are to break it. I've taken my grill off a couple of times. I want to say this is probably the 4th or the 5th time I've done it. Well, out of the 6 retainers, I broke 3 of them, and you can see it's just inevitable to happen. But got 3 of them. I'm going to just kind of space them, I guess, one in each corner, and then you just plug them back in, and you just push them in. That, like that, like that. I'll have to find other ones on Amazon to replace the ones I broke. But there it is. I'm gonna wait for it to get dark, see how they work, and we'll let you guys see the light pattern of these new bulbs. And of course, all the features of these lights. Back to that diagram, and I was saying that the size of the LED bulb itself is important. I'll kind of show you the difference. So this one was in mine before. Granted, it's not the thinnest, definitely not as thin as the Bosslas that we have put in now, but it's relatively thin, and that's why my light pattern was a lot better than Misty's. Misty's, on the other hand, is a lot thicker. So if you're out there looking to convert your halogens to LEDs, make sure you're paying attention to how thick the LED portion is. You want the thinnest? Definitely Boslla. All right, something I gotta swap around real quick. I installed one of my bulbs upside down. You want the yellow chip to be on top, the white chip to be on bottom. So the chip will look like this. You want to make sure the yellow, the yellow, the dehydrated P yellow is on top, and the more hydrated P, the white LED chip, is on bottom. This is important. If you don't install it this orientation, high beams will be backwards. Here's the list of the high low beam bulbs. And of course, these bulbs do not have the SOS flash. These bulbs do not have the high beam, just by reading these instructions, single beam only, but these do have the warning flashers. All right, guys, it is nighttime. Let's look at these lights. So there it is. I'm really happy with how these lights look. It's a really full pattern. It really lights it up. It is better than the last LEDs I did for sure. To operate the different modes of lights, it is simple as turning your lights off and turning them back on within 5 seconds. And here is the medium intensity light, colored light. And again, to cycle it again, turn the light off, turn the light on, and here are the ambers. Turn it off again, turn it back on, and you're back to the LED standard color. And so here are the brights. It's not much of a huge increase. Like I was saying, just on, off, on, off, on, off. Got to do it within 5 seconds to cycle it. Once it's been off for more than 5 seconds, it resets. So when you shut off your car and say you're in your ambers, well, you jump back in, it's going to automatically reset to your LEDs. So you can see we got a super clean, crisp line going all the way across. The medium intensity is the same. The yellow is the same. So there's the high beam pattern. switch it back to white and compare the high beams to low beams, which ain't a lot, but I guess this is just what it is when you convert halogens to LEDs. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something useful out of it. This in no way is meant to compete with $1,000 headlights. This is a much more budget-friendly option for someone who wants to convert their halogen to LEDs. Now, despite what anyone will tell you that you cannot put LEDs in a reflector housing, it's not true. Not all bulbs are created equal. I will say that, so you can't just get any LED. You need to be really paying attention to the thickness of the diode, of the lights. But if you guys like this product, there is a link in the description below. Here is a 30% discount code for you guys.
Yeah.
And one of the other benefits of this, you know, I want to say it's 140 bucks. You get to keep your Jeep housing for the headlight, which I actually really like. It's really simple to adjust. It's just a screwdriver or an Allen key and just twist and
it has a little Jeep grill.
And it has a little Jeep grill. Nerd moment. But you guys remember to
This looks easy anyway.
like, comment, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for more. I appreciate y'all for watching. Y'all keep it easy.